Hello again, Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope all of you guys are doing well. So, Cappy, this week, from Lay Vampire, you pulled Transmission, Spreading of Conditions, Influence, and Impact. I love this card, and I don't get to see it often, and I think it's cool that you guys pulled this. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Recovery. Now, Transmission, the blessing says you will have someone to travel with on the journey you are undertaking. There will be friendship, laughter, and the sharing of the experience. And then working with this card talks about surrounding yourself with the people and ideas that you wish to be influenced by. Create an amazing support network. And I think for a lot of you, you have that support coming through from other people because you're going through a recovery. Recovery from Chakra Wisdom. The very first quote for this card says that pain from our past unlocks the door of understanding. The inspiration says once the key has been used to open the door, you will have a new way of living, one without keys. Where you are heading, there are no locks. The personal question says, it is time to recover a part of me that has been dormant. Am I ready to live an inspired future? The key ideas are facing fears, wounding is strength, courage to face pain, awakening greatness. So I do think that a lot of you have a friend that may be coming through that wants to share in this experience with you, that maybe wants to support you through the recovery process. But you are not alone. You are definitely not alone, and there is somebody that is there for you. And all right, Cap, here we go. Here is the energy coming through. Shit. Nice, nice. The High Priestess. So for some of you, you're really tapping into your intuition right now. That's amazing energy. It's perfect. Now, with the High Priestess, it can talk about secrets coming to light. But we'll see what's going on. But I get a good feeling around this. Especially with recovery sitting there. Because you have all this purple energy going on. Right? It's not just, the color of royalty. To me, it does symbolize the intuition. And then in the past, wow, the Queen of Cups. Now, here's the thing. Looking at the Queen of Cups as the past coming through, this can definitely talk about a person. This could be a water sign. And then when you're looking at transmission, it could definitely be somebody that is coming through to support you emotionally. Now, on the other hand, when you're looking at your signifier, you have the two psychics right there. You've got the Queen of Cups and you got the High Priestess. That's amazing energy. Really, really being intuitive and psychic. Absolutely. Now, again, I don't feel anything bad around the High Priestess as far as like things being revealed. There may be some knowledge that is coming to light for some of you, but I get the strong feeling here of, you being really in tune, like in tune with your own psychic abilities, big time, big time. But then again, the Queen of Cups and seeing transmission definitely could be somebody helping you out. The Two of Pentacles and present conditions. So, there may be a reason here why, this energy is coming through. When you're looking at change, it's, needing to balance the changes that are going on within your life. For me, this is the juggling act. And when do you get to the point where you say, fuck it, and you let it drop because you've had enough? You have the ability to be flexible and go with the changes that are happening, absolutely, but that is all you're doing is juggling. And when you're looking at this card, it is the needed balance between the light and the dark. Future conditions. So yeah, this could definitely be somebody from the past coming through. And maybe they have some knowledge to share with you looking at the High Priestess. But as far as your own energy, emotionally, I think you're doing good. I don't so much necessarily get the feeling that you're being emotionally clingy. Depending on, what is surfacing here, the High Priestess, for me, and the Moon kind of have a little bit of a connection going on, But when you're talking about secrets and hidden wisdom, I don't think that this is something that you would be emotionally attached to unless this was something negative coming out, but I'm not feeling that. I just worry a little bit with the Two of Pentacles. Like, what are you trying to balance out? And then again, with the Six of Cups, it is nostalgia. And looking at your past, you have a person sitting there. And this could be, definitely a friend coming through that is giving you some emotional support through the things that, are changing in your life, the things that you are juggling around. They may have some information that can help you. Your best path to follow. So yeah, there was a reason why I was kind of feeling like something coming up, something, not known being made known. The Four of Swords, the immediate feeling for me around this is that this is something that you're going to need to sit with for a minute. It is about taking a break, doing some recuperating, but I think that Spirit here is saying that it's time to start meditating on whatever information you're getting here. You have to be able to give yourself a moment to be able to clearly think about it, because there is reflection going on with the Four of Swords. I do see this as meditation, and it may be information coming through that maybe you have to sit with for a minute, and I'm not feeling anything bad around it, but I do think that you're learning something here that you did not know. And it could be, somebody that is associated with your past. But there's good feelings around this person. And for a lot of you, it could just be that needing to balance out, the material and the spiritual. And I think that that's what you're doing. Some of you may be getting back to that feeling of being really in tune, right? Being intuitive. And your environment, the Four of Wands, beautiful. It's beautiful. I feel like when I see this, especially in your environment, to me, it's almost like there is a reason for you to celebrate, right? You've come a long way here. I mean, you're only looking at the Four, but when I see this card, I immediately think of the work that was done to create a stable foundation, right? That this is going to be ongoing. There's still more work to do, but there's a reason here to celebrate. And again, I'm seeing two people, right? And this could definitely have to do with a friend that may be, helping you. I do feel that with the Four of Wands. It's one of those cards too where, especially when you're looking at transmission, where you're not the only one here that is working toward this. This is you and another person, right? But it is beautiful energy in your environment. And maybe, this friend or whoever this person is coming through to remind you that, hey, there's more to life than just doing the juggling act. Let's have some fun is what it feels like. But I think that there's a part of you that, not only do you need to take a break, definitely, from doing this all the damn time, but there's something else that's coming up that I think that you need to sit with for a minute. And I don't think it's anything bad. I just think it's going to help you become a little bit more in tune with things that you may be having to deal with mentally, right? Oh, wow. Nice. Your hopes and your fears, the Ace of Wands. It's perfect. It's perfect. Maybe I see it as creative. I'm not seeing so much, a love situation here. I think there is a really strong connection to this person. I think that they bring some emotional happiness with them, absolutely. And I feel like, there is a connection there that's, I don't want to say it's more than friends, but it's beyond friendship. It's beyond this lifetime. I get the feeling that, this could be a soulmate connection with a friend, because soulmates don't necessarily have to be lovers. But I feel like the two of you have this spark of inspiration going on with the Ace of Wands, right? I mean, yeah, there's passion there. You know, it is a sexual card, but I'm not seeing anything else to support that. I'm looking more at, you know, the growth of new ideas, new creative ideas, new creative inspirations. You know, and for a lot of you, that's coming through with, you know, you getting more in tune with your intuition. Maybe new ideas are coming through to you when you start taking a break from doing all this. You know, maybe a friend comes through with some knowledge that you weren't aware of, and now there's this like new spark of creativity that maybe you guys are working toward here. But I like it. I like it. Oh, and then the outcome, the Emperor. Wow. So now for some of you, it could have to do with a couple of people, because when you're looking at your past and you see the Emperor, you know, the Emperor is Aries. And it talks about, you know, he is the father figure in tarot. It could be, you know, an older male in your life. Now, on the other hand, when you're looking at all this right here, this could definitely suggest a lot of you getting some stability in your life, right? Like getting order and control over this and not having to do that anymore, you know. But then again, for some of you, it could be your support network here. You know, I mean, you've got the past here, and then it's connected with here too. It's great energy. It's perfect. And if you do have a support group around you and you guys may be working towards something here that's creative in nature, you know, I do think that these people ultimately are wanting to help you and support you. It's a beautiful energy, and whatever it is that you're working toward, you know, I'm seeing this passion for it, right? This creative passion. But I do think that with the High Priestess, you know, I still get the feeling that for some of you, there's some knowledge that's coming through, and it may be coming through from like two different people. And it's something that I think you're going to have to sit with for a minute. You know, but I'm not seeing it as a bad thing. I just think that, you know, it's going to open you up to maybe some new passion in your life, you know. And then there's also that feeling there too where, you know, when you're looking at recovery in the Four of Swords, absolutely. That is, you know, hand in hand, both of those cards. There's a feeling here where, you know, some of you may be going through some recovery right now. Some things are changing in your life. You know, you may be juggling a couple of different things. And then you have something else coming through that you may not have known about. And you may be hearing it from a friend. And it ultimately leads you to the source here where there's this passion. And again, for some of you, it could have to do with Aries. You know, because I get the feeling from the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess that that one teeters. I see it as your energy, but then I also see it as a person from the past. But I see that more as a friend who may be providing some emotional support for you and, you know, revealing something to you that you may not have known. And then, you know, you sit with it for a minute, and I think you get to this spot where there's like this spark of passion, and it may have to do with a person, possibly. But overall, I see you. I see you getting control over that constant, you know, balancing act, that juggling act. Getting a little bit more in tune with your intuition, right? And kind of like doing some meditating here, you know, and recreating something that I think brought up a lot of passion for you. But overall, beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages there are for you guys. But I do see with transmission and seeing the Emperor and the Queen of Cups that you do have an amazing support network around you of people that I think are trying to give you the right information. I'm not seeing this as some like scandalous secret that's being brought out of you know what I mean? I think that whatever knowledge they're bringing to you, you may not have been aware of, but it's not a bad thing. Right? Perfect. It's perfect. Wisdom, hidden wisdom with the High Priestess, right? And there's truth. There's truth behind what is being revealed to you. an adventure, a new adventure, absolutely. And then when you're looking at wisdom too, if you do have somebody from the past coming through, when you're looking at the Emperor, hell yeah. Maybe giving you some new wisdom, right? But then I also feel it on this side too. Hidden wisdom coming from a friend, you know? Wow, wow. But truth, right? There's truth there to what is being said, which is good. I mean, I just think that for some of you, when I look at the Four Swords and recovery, there's a reason here why there's not like an immediate response from you. And I think it's because you need a minute to think about it and think about it clearly. But, you know, I think definitely with truth showing up, you get to a point where you understand that there is truth to what is being said, right? Have patience. Love is patient and kind always. And I think for some of you, you know, that's where this is coming in, right? Having some patience and understanding what the truth is. Look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. Wow. Okay, Cap. So, you know, if you are going through a process of recovery, immediately for me, it was like hearing that you are going through a recovery process over having to deal with, you know, maybe too many things on your plate here. But something else is coming through that you need to have patience with, because it's like, you know, I think that if I could just spit this out, the reason why you're needing to look into your inner strength is because while you're going through this recovery process, there's going to be some other information that's coming through. And you need to have patience with it, because I think that it's important that it does come through to you, because there's truth. There is truth behind it. And I think ultimately you understand that, which is why wisdom is there, right? But it's creating this new adventure for you. Looking at the two, having patience and needing to have strength, absolutely, if you're going through a period of recovery. But I think you have something right on the heels of that, that may be coming from a friend from the past, and it may have to do with somebody else from the past as well. But I think that you're going to get to a point here with the Four Swords and recovery where you're going to be okay. You're going to be able to heal. And you're going to be able to see the truth behind, you know, the hidden wisdom that's being made known. It's going to create some new adventures for you. All right, Cap, so there's a couple of different energies that I'm feeling around this, but everything looks really, really good. I do think that some of you are going through a recovery process, absolutely. But I also think that, you know, there is somebody that is coming through that is not only bringing some emotional support to you and wanting to help you get through this experience when you're looking at transmission, but I do think that this person may be bringing some information to you that you may have to sit with for a while. You need to think about it. And I think that once you get some clarity there, and I do think that that's going to come through in your intuition, you're going to understand that, you know, this hidden wisdom that's being revealed is truth. There's truth there to it, right? And it's definitely leading you on a new adventure. And again, I do think that for a lot of you, if you're going through the recovery process because, you know, maybe you had just a little bit too much going on in your life, maybe you're deciding to let some things go now so that you can do some recovering and some healing, I think that you get to this point where, you know, there's a spark of inspiration, and it's like it leads you ultimately to this feeling here where you start working towards something here, and I think that there is another person involved. It's the energy is weird because it's like your past is connected to your past, but then also being future conditions and your outcome, and you have people sitting there. And I do think that one of them is bringing information to you, and then it ultimately leads you to, and there's two ways to look at it. It's either leading you to a person, another person from the past coming through, where there's this spark of passion. And then the other part of it too is where it ultimately leads you to this point here where you start getting control. But I'm feeling like a person with this, looking at the Emperor coming out. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, this is like It could be a new relationship, but for some of you, it could just be somebody that you saw as like a father figure, you know, somebody who is like extremely supportive of you, I feel like immediately, but also may have some wisdom to share with you as well. But you get to this point where you're like on this new adventure. And I do think that there are people around you that are wanting to share in this experience. Absolutely. It's amazing energy. It's a little bit weird, and there's a couple of different things going on. You guys will have to let me know how this resonates here, but I do feel like you've got one thing going on, but then you have like another thing happening at the same time. Like you're trying to do some recovery. There's somebody who emotionally supports you coming through that has some information that you may not have known about. So you're going through the recovery process, but then you're also like sitting with this information. But I do think that you see the truth in it. And you get to this point here where there's a new adventure happening. I like it. But I do think that have patience and look to your inner strength is saying that when you're going through the recovery process and you're having to deal with this too, you have the strength to go through this. Now, if for some of you, you're dealing with a new relationship situation where you've gotten out of a bad one and now you're going into possibly a new one, you know, this is saying that just have patience with what is unfolding here, because I do think that there's a reason why this information is coming to you, you know. I do definitely feel like a lot of you are getting really, really in touch with your psychic abilities, which is fantastic, because these to me are the two psychics. But I do think that you need to have patience with the healing process, and also you need to know that you have the strength to move forward within an existing relationship, to move forward within a new one. You're going to go through the recovery process, but I'm telling you, Cappy, you are not alone.